And we are back. Fight Conversations. Big win for Maitano there with a quick choke out. That was over before it started, folks. Unbelievable. So we're back. We're going to be moving on to the co-main event. That fight was so quick that the best thing to talk about was the call out afterwards. So Moicano calls out Paul Felder. Paul Felder, you've been called out. Irish Dragon. I don't know. I don't think that's a good fight for Paul Felder. I don't see what Moicano is bringing to the table there. I mean, realistically, you called out a guy that yeah, I think that right there, he's calling out a guy that he's only looking to fight main events and big names. That's what Paul Felder's looking for. And he's in a different weight class. So I don't see how that one's gonna work out. I don't see that being a smart call out there, But it is what it is. Shout out to him for Moitano, that is, for the quick stoppage. That was a quick one, huh? Damn. He made short work of that guy. What was his name again? Let's take a look. And they had a little scuffle afterwards. Damir Hadzonik. I mean, the nerve of Dazir Hadzonik to say, "What are you looking at me hard?" He's looking at you hard because he just choked you out for the submission. That's why he's looking at you hard, right? It's just so different when you're in an arena with nobody there. The whole vibe of the whole fights tonight has been different. It's been like nothing I ever seen before. I mean, maybe if you ever went to a fight practice, it's more like feels like more like a practice, right? Because it doesn't have that live energy. Because what's the difference between practice and the live fight? The crowd, right? So when you're in the crowd, I mean, when you're in practice, you're like, oh, let's practice everything so that when we're in the heat of the moment and under the heat of the lights and the crowd, we're going to be able to perform just instinctively. And yeah, that's not what happened here. That's not what's happening here because in this case there is no lights, there is no crowd, there is no real pressure. This is just like training. I mean, yeah, it's still a fight. You still got to win a fight. It's just I feel like it's a different intensity level tonight, right? This was our first stoppage of the night. It was not a knockout, it was a submission, right? So I'm gonna say that at this point, I think the over under on knockouts is super low. I think the only potential for a knockout we even have is in the main event, which is after this. We have the co-main event coming up next between Demian Maia, who is definitely not knocking anybody out, right? Demian Maia and Gilbert Burns. What is Gilbert Burns good at? I don't know. Has anybody in Fight Conversations, Fight Families seen Gilbert Burns fight? Anybody know about Gilbert Burns? Let's get a background on Gilbert Burns. Where you guys at? So at the end of the day, in this one, I would have to take Maya because I mean he's just such a submission beast. I can't see him not doing his thing. But let's take a closer look at this one. Damian Maya is actually the dog. Okay. So it looks like Maya has a slight reach advantage as well as a leg reach advantage. Um, this Gilbert Burns, he wins by a lot of submissions also. And he also wins by knockout. So this is going to be interesting because this is kind of a situation, in my opinion, where you have somebody that does what Damian Maya does well also, plus what he doesn't do well, which is the striking, because 29% KO TKO ratio. That's three times of what Damian Maya's is. And we already know Damian Maia is not the guy that's trying to knock you out. That's not even what he does. That's not what he does. So I would say probably a knockout by Burns, but with Damian Maia being a plus 150, factoring in everything that we have to factor in with the fact of the kind of fights that we're seeing tonight, right? What are we seeing? We're seeing no energy in the building. We're seeing guys not having any knockouts because there's no electricity in the building, right? We're seeing a lot of grappling. We're seeing a lot of just like this feels like a sparring grappling practice. So I expect more of the same. I expect Demian Maia to win this fight. If you're out there and you're throwing something down, now we're dealing with an underdog. And I think, like I said earlier, um, the front, the uh, the uh, the underdogs are a good option tonight, just based on the fact that there's an unpredictable nature to tonight's card with no crowd. No crowd is making the electricity go down, which is making the energy of the fighters just seem less intense. There's not that intense energy that for the knockout. And when somebody's stunned, there's no roar of the crowd seeing it. So this is a whole different experience we're going to see here. What do I expect to see from Demian Maia? I expect to see Demian Maia try to take down Burns, and I expect Gilbert Burns to try to knock him out. You know, yo, Lala, what music was used for Walker tonight? No, I don't know the music that was used for Walker tonight. But whatever it was, if he was more focused on his music, then that wasn't a good thing because his performance tonight was not good, man. Recently, it seems like Johnny Walker's strategy of trying to knock dudes out without covering himself up for counters is really starting to be a problem because he's getting countered and he's getting rocked. And his jujitsu tonight wasn't great either. It wasn't great, you know? I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily characterized as jujitsu, what Krylov was doing. It was more like a Khabib style where it felt like he was just climbing up him like a bear up his leg. So I don't know what that's exactly called in terms of official MMA terminology. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy with an eye for fights. You in life, you go in life, you live your life, you're in some fights, you see some fights, you see things. This is Fight Conversations. We love fights, and that's what it's about. So welcome to the group. If you got a comment, throw it up. It comes through, I'll respond. I'll throw it on the post. Let's get it going. We got the next fight up next. It's going to be Demian Maia against Gilbert Burns. What are you guys expecting in this one? I have to say, I think it's a good opportunity to take money on the technical, boring fighter in this situation. So I would have to say I'm leaning Demian Maia in this one to bring home the money. You know, um, I think that's a good look. What do you guys think? What would you take if you had to pick this fight? Right, you don't have to bet anything on it. At the end of the day, these are tracking bets anyway. What are tracking bets? Tracking bets are bets that you make in order to follow what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Lala. He's definitely been exposed. Big time, very hittable. You can even imagine what John would do to him. Yeah, I mean, we already know what John would do to him. Same thing everybody else has been doing to him. Avoid those big shots, land some counters, and then once he's rocked, he becomes very hittable. And then from there, I think John Jones would also take him down or hit him with in close shots because I was also unimpressed with Johnny Walker's in close game. He was like slow to be able to realize when to land a close hammer fist or a close elbow. And Krylov was right on top of that. Krylov's short elbow game was great. He was hammer fisting. There was a point where Johnny Walker had his head on the back of Krylov's back, and Krylov was swinging back elbows like this and catching him, and then swinging his hand all the way back and still catching him. That's crazy. You swing your hand all the way back like that, you got to catch that hand and make him pay, or you got to change your position. So it just felt like he was able to land in so many good and strange positions. So it was more of a dominating performance for Krylov in that one. I was impressed with Krylov. I think that I would recommend keeping that name in your head, Nikita Krylov, because he's a technical fighter that's probably going to be an underdog again somewhere against somebody, and he's got skills. He has that Khabib-esque style, which isn't a flashy style, but it's effective, right? And when we're talking betting, we want effective, right? So, who do you guys got in this next fight? Who's going to win? You like Demian Maia? I think Demian Maia is the play. Anybody else like something else? If you do, speak up. Let it be known. You can't claim that you liked something later on after the fight's over. I mean, yeah, even if you had it before, nobody's going to believe it, as they shouldn't. You should put your information out there on Front Street before it goes down if you want to have people believe in what you're doing. But we've already talked about this from the beginning. None of these fights are huge betting opportunities. Just the fact that there's no crowd giving you a huge variable. That's a variable you don't know how to account for. That's something that you don't see these guys come out and do. They say some guys are beasts in the gym, but they don't do good under the lights. Maybe it goes the other way. Maybe some guys do great under the lights because that energy gets them going, that fuels them, that electricity from the crowd. But without that crowd, maybe they don't get going. Johnny Walker, I don't think that was the case about the crowd not getting him going. I think I agree with Lala. It's more about him being very hittable. His defense is bad. He keeps his hands down. When he throws, maybe he's used to knocking guys out and them not being able to counter because somebody knocked out is not going to counter, right? But it looks to me like he's being caught because of counter punches. So those punches are big and looping, and people see them coming and they're out of the way and they're countering on him, and he's got no guard up, right? Like we were talking about the fight earlier with what's his name on the undercard, where this one fighter had slipped and he got up, and as he was getting up, he put both arms up like this, just as the kick was coming, and he was able to block the kick just like that by putting the arms up. So you have to be aware of defense also. UFC, everybody's talented, and you can't be in a situation where you are forgetting about defense. You have to throw offense and also be thinking defense. If you're throwing right, your left got to be up. When you switch, it has to switch with it. That's just how it goes. If you're leaving yourself open for shots, guys are going to hit you with shots. That's how it goes. So, what do we expect from this next fight? I expect a Demian Maia fight, a boring fight where you see a guy like Burns and you're like, wow, this kid could get a knockout. But chances are he's not going to get a knockout, right? Because there's no energy in the building. Will that make it so that he doesn't get a knockout? Maybe. It could be, you know? So, but this is not the March Madness we were expecting, right? The March Madness that we were expecting was going to be basketball, right? We wanted tournaments. There was a lot of talent. Shout out to my friend Harry Jacob Karoga out there. We aired his video of him giving an alley-oop dunk to Obi Toppin. Yo, guys like Obi Toppin, this is their opportunity to showcase their skill, to get themselves higher in the draft, to get more money. I mean, I feel bad for these guys. I mean, we all know that Obi Toppin's definitely going. The fight didn't start yet, and we're just waiting for it. But you're right. Back to the fight. That's all we got tonight anyway is the fights, right? That's how it goes. Thank you, Raphael, for keeping me on target, man. The fight has not started yet. We are waiting for the fight to start. Demian Maia. We got Demian Maia against Gilbert Burns. And that's what's going on next. If you're trying to watch the fight, bro, it's on ESPN. It's the only thing on ESPN right now. Just put on ESPN. That's it. This isn't a pay-per-view event. This is ESPN. This is not just ESPN Plus like normally, because what they did is, because there's no basketball, now it's on ESPN regular. So just tune into ESPN if you want to see the fight. If you don't have it, we're not showing the fight here because ESPN owns the fight. That's the way it works. This is a fight companion. Throw it on ESPN. Throw me on your phone and let's talk about it. All right, so we're ready here. Let's get it going. All right, so yeah, Burns is the favorite. Demian Maia, even though he's ranked number 7 and Burns is ranked number 12, Demian Maia is the underdog. I mean, it's hard to have Demian Maia as the favorite, right? Because his style is so boring that it's like you want to have a knockout. And let's see if Burns can make it happen tonight. So far, there has not been one knockout on the card tonight. Not a single knockout. I repeat, not a single knockout on the card tonight. There was one chokeout, no knockouts. All right, Demian Maia is looking for his opening. He's definitely looking to set up some kind of a takedown. There's a single leg. He goes right to the back. He gets the takedown. Maia's on top. He's fighting. They're fighting with each other's legs. I like Maia in this situation. He's trying to go for some kind of a heel. It's really hard to get that on Maia. Maia sprawls out of it, switches position, and they're back up to their feet. I expect Demian Maia to go for another takedown. He's already picking a leg. He's getting that leg. Looks like he fucking put one finger in his butthole and threw him to the ground. Damn, that was a crazy strategy there, wasn't it? Damn. Demian Maia, he's willing to do whatever for the win. So Demian Maia has his back up against the cage right now, and Burns is in a bad spot. I mean, don't forget, there's no electricity in the building whatsoever. There is no crowd yelling your name. There is no energy. You're basically in a practice with Demian Maia, a straight gritty, grimy fighter who just grinds you out. This is a perfect opportunity for Demian Maia, who now has already taken his back. He's trying to lock in those hooks. Forget it. If Demian Maia can get his legs locked in front of Burns, he's trying to go for that cross body lock. If he can get those legs locked, that leg is coming across. If he can lock that leg in, this guy's going to be in for a long round. And now he looks like he's going for a mount. And he slips out. The kid slips out. They're back up to their feet. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Oh, he throws a punch. Maia just dips it. Any one of those shots could knock Maia the fuck out. Oh, he's knocked the fuck out. But he's not. He's on his back. He's still fighting. The referee calls it. Maia's gone. What did I tell you? Any of those shots could knock Maia the fuck out. Maia got knocked the fuck out. Boom. And that's why this kid was a favorite, because of that punching power. Demian Maia got knocked the fuck out. Knockout. Knock the fuck out. Wow. Yo, a whole lot of cursing in this one. We apologize, but that was a fucking knockout.